Hello and welcome everyone to week 7 of the APL Insider. I am your host, Gadarian. And this week you'll notice that there's a missing spot over on my left. Gumo is no longer with us. Well, he's with us. Let me clear that up. He's with us. He's just not physically here. He's out enjoying life, doing some Halloween party. But in his stead, we've got our producer extraordinaire, Axe Hawk, joining us. We don't have a visual, but we can hear his voice. Hawk, how's it going?
It's going well, thank you. I'm excited to be on the air this week.
I'm glad you get to talk, man. You do all this talking behind the scenes, man. You should get more of that limelight, dude.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean it's I'm hidden. I'm hidden, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here with me, man, and it's going to make things smooth. So, like we said earlier, it was week seven,
Mhm.
which we're going to recap because technically is week 8 currently. So
Yep.
we're going to go into the highlights of week 7, starting with Division 4. So you can roll that. We've got a nice long clip highlight for you guys to watch. We'll see you in about, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. I think the clip's about 5 minutes. Is that
Yeah,
right,
about
Hawk?
5 minutes, I believe so. I think it's 4 minutes and 11 seconds, but exactly, I think is what it is. So, all
So
right, buddy.
enjoy. Yep.
Enjoy.
Mount Division. Yeah. The majority of the progress here looking like they might be the team to cap the first point of the match. There it is. Their airhead's still up. Well, smoke here is marked 10th Mountain Division. Ill spawning where that airhead landed earlier. Psycho finally down. Alright, and there we have it. 10th Mountain Division coming out the winner with 3-2 for Town Center.
Hellfire looks like a for sure cap off the opening. And that will probably be the quickest cap I've seen in a matchup all season long so far. And there we go. Hellfire with the opening cap here on Stalingrad. Carriage Depot goes to Hellfire. That should seal it for the Allies. IS-1 pushing up, and there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. A 4-1 for Hellfire here on Stalingrad. Nice cap by Hellfire, coming in straight into the point on Komsomol HQ. And this could be it, ladies and gentlemen. Whole bunch of presents here. Lux coming in to knock the booty of the IS-1. Unfortunately, that booty's too tough for you, buddy. Yeah. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that will be a 5-0 victory for Hellfire here on Stalingrad.
Odyssey ya levantó un cañón a T, ¿no? Está asediando un poco el punto de la granja de Pierre.
Sí. Y tenemos también Panzer apareciendo ya en el bando de Odyssey, que se va a alinear con el cañón antitanque de la carretera.
Allá va el Tiger. Allá va el Panzer 4. Y esto es punto para Odyssey. Me acabo de dar cuenta que no hice algo. Yo lo que digo, soy buenísimo con esto. Tiene una tarea única, que es infiltrarse. Entonces no es como para decir sí o sí MVP. No sé si era tanquista.
CF completely fumbling the bag here on the opener. They have no one really to support or resupply or reinforce into the point. So they do get a garrison up. It is in the open, but they're kind of a ways from the point still. They have to run diagonally to get over to that point, and Ronin is set in. I think Ronin's going to do a really good job. But a lot of the Cobras from Montes, they kind of just have their heads down, and they're trying to just survive. I mean, obviously, we see Tigers rolling up and P4s rolling up, just laying hate onto the point. Can they get this Tiger through the water right here without killing the engine? It looks like they can. Beautifully done from the driver for Ronin's heavy tank right there. And they're going to go ahead and move their armor up onto the front line. And I love this play by Ronan. Ronan has had a very strong lead all season, performing very well across the board and cleaning up these teams very effectively, honestly. And I think maybe their tank crew is being a little bit cocky this match, just being a little bit aggressive. But you know what? It paid off for them. And I think overall, they don't have anything to worry about. That is going to be GG's. Ronan cleaning up the match in under 20 minutes. I don't even know if my delay has started yet.
On Vanguardia, Merciless, the North American team, taking on the Brazilians, and our map was St. Mary-Glees. So obviously coming in, Vanguardia was riding a high. They had beaten, I can't quite remember who it was. They beat somebody. Oh my God, was it BTN Chad? I believe they beat BTN Chad to get to the final, and looking really, really powerful, really strong. They took opener, and they never really looked back, honest to God. They just steamrolled Merciless, a really good team. They jumped out 3-2 early. They kept putting pressure on the fourth point. You can see, just relentless right there. Yeah, and the score's a little messed up. You guys can see Angelo was a little late on that. So it should be 4-1 right now. And the battle for the fifth and final, you know, Merciless hung in there as long as they could. They really didn't want to get 5-0'd. They really didn't want that sour taste in their mouth. So this was some of the best action of the final. I mean, 3, 4, 5 times Vanguardia was throwing everything but the kitchen sink at them, and tanks, and it was crazy. I think what happened ultimately was Merciless ran out of tanks, and at the end, I believe there was like 2 276s on the point, along with a ton of infantry. I mean, they just worked them down. I mean, there's still 25 minutes left. I mean, they were battling for this final point for close to 30 minutes. Yeah, and the Tiger going down there, that was a huge play. And it just kept mounting. You could just see all of Vanguardia just popping up everywhere. Here's the final, one big spawn off Garrison in the wheat field. They were just relentless. I mean, Merc, they did, to their credit, try to do their best to get a quick flip where they would try to delegate as many people on defense while simultaneously trying to cap fourth. I don't think that, I mean, obviously cognizant of the time, they didn't have a lot of time. They were going to try and get a quick flip and then run it, but obviously didn't work. Vanguardia was wise to their game, and they did a real good job of managing the team. I mean, also helps when you got 76s sitting there on the point, you know, +9, you got a fully crewed tank in the point, so you can delegate some more of the guys back on defense. Airhead late for just an insurance policy. But yeah, the Brazilians pulled it off. They did well. I mean, I don't think anybody saw it coming, really. I thought there was Rangers of the North, Chad, BTN, or BNT, excuse me, BTN TOG. They were the favorites for most of the season, but, you know, lo and behold, nice job for Vanguardia pulling it out. They are now finally, you know, the first time they win a championship. Congratulations to them. So anyway, now we're going to transition over to the championship for Division 2, which was casted by our guy, Gumo Train. And it was, what was it, TL taking on Chimera. So enjoy those highlights.
Really
rocket snipe coming in. Here comes another one. Ooh, he got some hits with that. He didn't quite get the truck, but he got some bodies. Ooh, really good rocket shots there. Trucks blowing up everywhere. Artillery coming down up there by artillery battery itself. There's kind of two battles going on right now. There's one way down here in the south right in front of us in the hedges. And there's another one up there at the actual artillery battery. And you can see Chimera starting to push one of their tanks down to the south now. Looks like they intend to sweep TL out of that area. Keep them from flanking down there. And boom. There goes the capped Chimera. TL Gill running right up next to him. There goes the rocket. Gets two of them. Gill saw the rocket, and he still gets taken down by Powerfish. Coltrane and Trance now starting to make it up past the bunker. They do have a P4 right up in the circle now. They are starting to cap. Now that P4 is still up in the circle. They just lost the Puma. That P4 still holding the line. Holding the line for the line. There he goes. P4 goes down. He did manage to support a number of infantry as they made it into the trenches, but without that P4, they're going to have a really hard time holding this little foothold they got going on. Just got to find out where the garrison is. Gets it with a rocket. There goes the garrison for TL. Here comes the artillery. That airhead's still alive, though. There it is, right there, right below us. Let's just hold right here for a second and see what happens. TL is pulling it back. There's a hoot. Boo! That was a big artillery hit. A lot of Chimera's troops been pushed out of the circle, but they're still capping. Here comes the tank pushing up. That's going to lend a lot of cap weight. And it's really hard to kill a 76 with artillery. Not impossible, but really hard. There goes a satchel on the house. There's the cap. Church Road. They did manage to take hold of this little intersection here. They are now outside of where TL's artillery was coming down, so they can shift themselves a little bit. I hear a tank. Yep, here comes 76 pushing up. Some more infantry reinforcements. Squirrel's gonna go down to Uncle Cletus. Sounded like they traded, and they did. Logic gets blown up with artillery. This is a really dangerous place to be right here. So TL has shifted their artillery a little bit now, realizing that Chimera is a little closer to the front door than they had originally anticipated. Now they are holding it, but they're losing their position up here on these hedgerows. They're not going to be able to use that as their launch their attacks anymore. Here comes the 76 right in the front door. Two 76s right in the front door. Chimera looking to nail down this 5-0 in the last 15 minutes. We'll see if they can do it. Tiger and 76 looking to get a hold of each other. Oh, he can see through that, right? Yeah, he sure can. That's a solid hit on the Tiger. Tiger's gonna go ahead and back off. Boom! Gets the 76. Nice keyhole shot through the bushes. That 76 is trying so hard to get a shot on that P4. And he gets him. He gets him. TL's got their artillery coming down pretty hard, trying to push their infantry back in, but Chimera is just flooding in. Now they've got two of their 76s up in the point. This is looking more and more like a 5-0 for Chimera. 3 76s in the point. That's gonna do it. Here goes the ticker. 3, 2, 1. Bam. There you have it. Congratulations to Chimera, our Division 2 champions.
So there you have it. Chimera, the boys from down under, very impressive. 5-0 victory over the line. A solid team, man. Congratulations to you guys. But now transitioning over into Division 1. Those of you that were watching this live, you already know what happened. But we did get most of what mattered, which was the Open, and where Helios was fantastic on their opener, doing a really, really nice job of getting into the strong point, which was railway to the north on Stalingrad. And they did for most of the match do a fine job of boxing out. I think their tactic was to just kind of flood the sector. There wasn't really much pressure put on fourth, and their idea was to kind of sit and just hold the 3-2 as you see them capture it right here. Did I really put up Carriage Depot? My goodness. Wow. Anyway, moving along. So yeah, like I said, after about a good hour of grind, you started to finally see Spree gain control, BAP control down south. There was a factory building to the south, and on the top of the 3 where you see all the blues up top, that was the 3, and they converge and basically surround Helios, kind of lock them in. And then tank play comes in. They've got their Tiger behind the brick wall, just kiting back and forth, putting pressure on. And you start to see Helios start to wither slowly and then faster and then faster. And then eventually, just like Syndicate found out in the previous week against, once you lose that northern point, it is hell to get back. And there you have it. Rail crossing. At least I got that one right. So with about 22 minutes remaining, Helios is pushed out. A Spree jumps in late and honestly never looked back. Became the 3-time champions. Impressive comeback win. I mean, these guys never panic. It's unbelievable. Congratulations. Another championship. Now it's 3 times, and I guess it's on to the next league. You know, we've got HCA and seasonal coming up, so I'm sure those guys are ready. They just want to win everything. So anyway, highlights are all done. Hawk, you in here? Do we get your voice there? Okay. We're gonna be hearing Hawk because he's gonna help me out on this. We do have some guests coming in from the community. We put out a feeler and we said, you know, can we get some people to join and just kind of give us some feedback on how their season went and maybe something that they can offer in the way of a criticism, but also provide that suggestion on how to improve so we can get better with the next installment of season 4. And we've got our first guest coming all the way from the land. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, we're going to have some guests on, and we've got 2 from the same team, Gary Buster's International. They've changed it from Incorporated to International, and we're going to be joined by the fan favorite Terry and T Reaper from GBI. So we're going to get these guys in here in a minute. Oh, week 8. Okay. Oh, scores. Okay. So yeah, Ronin looking absolutely monstrous. I mean, they knocked out La Compañía Maldita in 45 minutes. Yeah. And these guys have just been steamrolling everybody. And they're going to be taking on my dark horse, who I predicted a few weeks back, Odyssey, who they've basically stuck it to 10th Mountain. And my guy Sneaky, he made his prediction, and both times they came true. They beat them 5-0 in the regular season, and they were able to knock them out 3-2 in the semifinals. So that's all set up, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't know who's going to cast that, but we've always wanted to see Ronin and Odyssey play for the Division 4 championship. I mean, we kind of knew it was going to happen, and we're going to get that match, so I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I mean, Ronin and Odyssey playing each other. I mean, as you can see, they're the top dogs of the division this year for Division 4. You can see they finished the season 7-0 for Ronin and 6-1 for Odyssey. So that doesn't include for playoff play. And
for me, it's just not just the wins losses. It's look at the caps. I mean, 31 caps for Ronin and 22 caps. That's important. It's not just do you win, it's how you win. And Ronin has been steamrolling people 5-0. So I'm wondering to see maybe if Odyssey can really offer them something. I mean, we'll
Yeah,
see.
That's his domination right there. I mean, 31-22 cap point ratio. That means, probably a lot of 5-0s in there, would be my
Sure.
guess, to get to that point. You're going to have a lot more caps than, points that you didn't hold to get to that point. I mean, if you want to look at the bottom of the map, Cobras Montes and Condor Legion, that's what happens, or what it looks like is negative when you don't have that cap progress. So it's kind of an example there. For anyone
Yeah.
who doesn't understand what's going on, we're talking about that.
I don't want to be cruel, but it looks like the haves and the have-nots. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The top is so much better than the bottom, unfortunately. And well, I guess that gives Hellfire, Cobras, and Condor Legion something to work for in the off season and get better.
Yep.
But anyway,
Yeah,
the competition is.
More to come next week. More to come next week on the championship match.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. Well, shall we transition into our Q&A?
I was hoping.
All
That's
right.
what-
All right.
Isn't that what we're all here for? Nobody
That's
cares
what
about
we're
these
all here for,
highlights.
yeah. All right. Well, let's bring them in.
Everybody wants to hear Terry, man. I mean, I can't wait.
Are we
Oh my
ready
God.
for him?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
All right. Yeah, there we go. All right. Can you guys hear us?
Yes, we hear you.
All right. Well, welcome to the stream.
T
Yeah,
Reaper and Terry. How's it going?
Good. Just made my second coffee now. It's 7 a.m.
Oh my God, that's right. You guys are so early. Yeah, but I know you got to run. You probably have work and all that other stuff. We'll keep it short, but just a quick introduction of who you guys are. Just let the people who maybe not know you, if they haven't been following on the Discord, who you guys are, where you're from, a little background.
Sure. So we're both from GBI. This is our second APL edition. Obviously, it didn't go as well as we would hope, and we had quite a few rough games, but still a lot of good experience. And we've been doing the friendly since then and had, some really good results. So it's still on form. But yeah, that was a really tough APL for us in Div 1.
To be fair, I thought I was a little bit surprised to see you guys only come away with one win. I know the competition is a much different in the Division 1, but even one win is a little bit underperforming for you guys. So was there something? Was it the teams where you guys just had a bad midpoint? Like what basically what happened? What went wrong?
I mean, yeah, mid-caps always go into it, right?
So unfortunate draw. Now it's interesting. HCA is about to start up, and I think they're trying to incorporate the whole custom layout. So I'm interested in seeing how that works out, so people don't get stuck on a mid cap that's just not winnable. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's interesting. At the moment, the way I understand it, Olga have selected the mid cap for each week, so it might not necessarily be the most fair mid cap, but it would prevent it from being stale.
I do like
so
that.
I guess you're balancing.
People are going to ban
how
maps
stale the game
differently.
is. Yeah, exactly.
Now, here's my other question: What do you do with the other 4 points once midpoint is determined? Is that just random?
Random but adjacent.
Random but adjacent. Okay.
So it can't be like corner ones.
So it can't be corner ones. Okay, adjacent. I got you.
Yeah, so like it can't be like opposite side of the map.
Gotcha. So next question I have for you guys. So you obviously talked about your expectations, and you obviously didn't quite live up to them this season. Better luck next year. But if you were to offer us one criticism about what the APL didn't quite get right this year, and then perhaps the suggestion on how to improve it.
Do you want to go first, Reaper?
No, you can go first. I got one.
Well, firstly, I'd say the best thing about APL this year was definitely the div chats.
Oh, you're stealing it, Terry.
I'm sorry. They were just so good this year. It was so much yap and so incredible to have so many teams involved, and all of the memes that come out of that is almost better than the quality of the games themselves.
And something that we really need to improve. Is there something that jumps out at you? We're like, you know what? I wish they would have done this differently. It would have been a much better season. Anything pop out?
OCE start times. It's like we're playing way too late. It's always.
Yeah, that is a problem. You guys are either 12. Some of you guys are 14 hours ahead of us. So
Yeah. Is a Kiwi starting at like 10 p.m. for like the dry runs, and then getting started at 11 p.m. for the actual game. Finishing at 12:30 at night is a killer.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if we can fix time zones. We can fix a lot of things, but we can't fix time zones. So anyway, I'm glad you guys hopped on. Do you have any final words? You want to close it out? You want to shout out some people? You want to, close it with anything?
No, but I wanted to, I guess, thank APL for this year. It was really good, like really well organized, and it felt like all of the teams were fairly well balanced within the divisions as well. And yeah, it just felt like an improvement on last edition. So that was quite good.
It's good.
Yeah, it was a very good APL. Very good APL this year.
Fantastic. Then thank you guys for hopping on. We got a couple other people who are going to join us, but appreciate you guys for taking the time out of your busy day. Have fun at work.
I do have a final
Yeah,
comment.
thank you.
We are sitting on Gary Busters. Can we get some bodies in to finish out the close? See?
Anyway, there you have it. Terry and T Reaper from GBI. And then we'll be bringing in our guy who's in the background as well from La Compania, No Time to Die.
Note.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, guys. Thank you for coming. So, same question to you, No Time. Just trying to get that feedback, get an idea of, first of all, did the season you guys play, did you meet your expectations? How did you guys perform? Did you underperform, overperform?
Well, first of all, thanks for letting me speak on this occasion. And well, to respond your question, I cannot tell you exactly, because when we decided to participate on the APL, we knew we were not going to be top clan, we were not going to be the winners, we were not going to be somewhere on the first half of the team division. We decided to come and learn. Good. So I cannot tell you exactly if we underperformed or we overperformed. We also had the thing that we were actually an alliance with MIB, and we have that language barrier in sometimes, which complicated a few things, but we tried to overcome that, and well, it's the price to pay to try and learning.
Well, you got the experience, like you said. You wanted to get an idea of what competition's like, and now you've got that experience, and now you can bring that to whomever you guys recruit and new players and whatnot. It's just about just training the ones that you have and getting new guys in there and training them up and getting ready for the next season. So I guess from that standpoint, you guys were a success. Now I'm going to ask you the same questions I did for Terry and T Reaper, a criticism, and then obviously offer the suggestion. We're always trying to improve. I mean, it could be anything from the way the Orga work, could be the casters, it could be really about anything. Map bands, anything.
I mean, it was. I mean, I don't really have anything negative to say about the APL. I think it was properly made. Questions has been made about rule books, about map banning and all that to make sure we all had what we wanted, the teams. So about that, I have nothing to say about like in a negative way. And a positive way, well, yeah, we had a little bit of fun, on the deep chats, like Terry said, a few spicy interchanges over there too.
Got to keep it fun and interesting.
Of course. I mean, yeah, mostly it was that about the APL. I quite liked it. And maybe one negative thing I just got in mind, well, is about the time zones,
Yeah.
As you just said.
I feel like that's going to be a theme. Right. It's just going to be one of those things. I mean, we try to come up and come up with a time that's reasonable and fair. And I think if the teams can't work it out, there's the default. But I mean, I guess it's kind of like one of those things you go in knowing that, this is kind of how it is. I mean, it's really hard to get all those players. And I understand that rostering is an issue, but yeah, I mean, if there's any suggestions, if they're not, at the tip of your tongue right now, I mean, obviously APL, you guys can post in there and just, if something comes out, or maybe if chat even comes up with something, we can incorporate into next season, make season 4 even better. So anyway, do you have any closings before we bring on our next guest?
Not really. Well, as what I said at the start of my interview, thanks for bringing me in, and well, hope to keep seeing the APL Insider.
Yeah, kind of glad we all did this. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
There he is. Formus, No Time to Die. And our next guest, who's near and dear, an OG of many, many years. I've known him, from about 2021. He was a former 20th guy with me when we played. But he is, it's a long time. He's, he's one of the Orga, the guy who's basically in charge of how this whole.
Let's say this: the guy that's been bossing us around. No.
Well, bully could be his title, but I don't know. He doesn't bully me too much.
No,
he's a good guy. Let's welcome Velo to the show. Velo, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for joining me. Thanks for putting dinner aside.
It's all good. It's all good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. So give us the introduction. Who are you? Had this? It was a brainchild storming. I mean, years ago when you hit me in Discord about, man, I really want to create a league, and I said, okay, man, we can figure it out, man. But you took the idea and really ran with it, and look where we are now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, like you said, I think 2021 or something when I joined up with the 20th, and you were there, and a lot of old school players. But yeah, so that was back when season was going, and I think what was it called? Pellet Loose Premier League, I think.
The first installment before it became HCA, correct? Yeah.
Speaking of which, if you guys want to watch that, click on VR1 TV, which
shameless
you're
plug.
Right now. You can watch the content from that. Sorry, I had to do it.
So anyway, Velo, your tournament, man. What'd you think? How'd it run? Did you like? Did you enjoy everything? I mean, I know you behind the scenes. You're probably dealing with a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah.
We won't talk about the stuff that was going on. With we'll just leave that for another day. The issues that was going on. We'll call it in Division 2.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people probably don't see. So it's a lot of work, honestly. It's almost like a full-time job.
Yeah, believe me, I know.
But well, you guys wouldn't know, right? So, but yeah, I mean, we love it. I mean, at the end of the day, I love putting this stuff on. It's a great community, and that's kind of why we're doing it, right? And we wanted to put something together specifically for American teams. That's kind of how it spawned, and we've seen a lot of growth since then. And
a lot of growth.
Some Oceanic teams, and this year we brought in some Europeans and Chinese teams. So it's been huge, and kind of a lot more than I ever expected it to go. But yeah, this season alone, it was our biggest season, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to harp on it, but I mean, if you've been listening, I'm sure you have the biggest issue, complaint, whatever. We just don't have a solution for it. Is the time zone differential between Oceanic and some of the Chinese teams? So, I'm not sure if there is a solution to that. I'm not sure what exactly we could do to make things better. I don't think. There aren't too many options. So. I guess going forward, it's just I don't know. I don't know how to accommodate, these teams and make it easier for them. But I don't know. Do you guys have anything in your thoughts for the next season? I mean, have you thought that far? Have you thought to 2025 yet?
I mean, I know I personally, I'm always looking to the future. Like before this season started, I'm already thinking, what's on the docket after that?
Yeah, what's in the oven? What's cooking, man?
Yeah,
Is there anything big? I mean, I'll tell you a little bit. We're working our asses off, and for the casters, from the casters side, Hawk and I have been working to make that integration, that back end production much easier, because I mean, you can ask Smithers what it's like having to constantly go back and change the scoreboard and have the drop downs and all that. So we streamlined that to now where it's just a couple drop downs and all the strong points are already loaded in. You just kind of select them pre-match. Takes a few seconds, and you don't get that annoying drop down. So we're streamlining that, and we're also looking to bring in the stats. We're going to take one more crack at that. We almost had it this season, just didn't have enough time to really fully implement them. But definitely be on the lookout for that for next season.
Yeah, secrets out of the bag.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. The juice. Guys didn't tune in to just hear me talk, and there's nobody else to look at, so I don't know what else we're here to do. So you got anything, Velo? I need some juice from you.
Well, first things first, I do want to give you guys a shout out since I'm here, because I see you guys in here
You're
almost
right.
daily, every week, and maybe I don't know if you get the love or not, but I do want to share it.
I just
right now,
want it
give
from
guys a
you.
shout out.
I want you to come in more often and give me love.
Yes, I should. I see you in here, and I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna let them cook. I'm gonna let them cook.
No, please interrupt me, man.
Yes.
Just check in, say hello. But anyway, yeah.
It-
You guys do great work behind the scenes, and I love it. And,
Cool.
yeah, so I just really appreciate it. But yeah, for the future, I mean, I'm not going to say too much, but we do have a few other events that we're cooking on in the background that we're trying to put together for 2025 to kind of complement the APL. Like APL will still be, the flagship event.
Mhm.
But yeah, we've got some other things that we're working on behind the scenes to turn it into something bigger than just a single event each year.
But listen, before you run off, I want to say thank you personally for getting those servers and getting our sponsorship from Quanzer. That was a huge thing. And we're actually going to be doing an interview with one of their representatives in a few weeks. They're going to come on and do a live show with us and talk a little bit about what they do and the services they provide. So, and I credit that to you and your hard work getting behind the scenes and doing that. So much appreciated. It's also something that is going to be taken up by the ECL. They're also going to be sponsored by Quanzer as well. So that's all your work, dude.
Yeah, it's super exciting, and I can't say enough good stuff about those guys. I mean, they are right on top of it. Even the customer service, a little plug for them here. They're just top notch, honestly, and we haven't had any issues with the quality of the service.
Mhm.
I think everybody loves them.
I was about to say something real controversial, but I'll keep it to off camera about the whole DDoSing thing, man. It's crazy. They have some really amazing protection on their servers because we didn't have any issues. I know Seasonal had that issue with DDoSing, and we didn't have any of that. So
Yeah, that was one thing that we talked about before the season. He wanted to make sure that obviously they gave us their best, the very best that they could provide. Obviously, you don't want to put something out that's less than ideal, right? For such a big audience.
now we're sold on it.
They gave us everything they had.
Great. Well, Bella, once again, thank you for joining. Get back to dinner and being the family man that you are.
Thanks, guys.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Take
Have
care.
a
There
good
you go.
night. Take care.
Vela from Orga. And joining us next, we've got a couple of the three-time champions showing up. We've got our man, St. Pepsi 94. St. Pepsi, welcome, brother. Thanks for joining.
Hello. Good day, Ian.
First
Hello, guys.
time.
How are you doing?
Well, actually, no,
Yeah,
I did
first
talk
time.
to you. You're a caster and a player, man. That's a pretty cool role.
Yeah, I'm pretty much everything.
Yeah, tell us about it. You get to play from both sides. What do you like better? Be honest.
I like to be a player mostly because I like to explode on the air with the artillery. We all wants that.
We love it. We love watching those highlights of you getting blown up by artillery. But yeah, so you play for Esprit. You guys are the three-time now defending champions. You played a hell of a match on Stalingrad and beat a very game Helios opponent. And so I'm not even going to tell you, I'm not even going to ask you what your expectations were. You've obviously met those expectations. But along the way, was there any team that gave you a challenge that you guys were maybe a little worried about? Because, I mean, let's face it, you guys didn't lose a match.
Well, I don't want to focus on any clan, on any enemy. Always on Spirit, we try to give it our best. We try to expect the enemy will be better than us, and we fight till the end, But I think I need to say Helios. Helios is a good people. They are not all only good playing, shooting. They're good people too. I love a lot of or all of their members. They give us a lot of fight on that fucking map. I hate that map. Everyone hates that map, I think. But yeah, I was playing on the south of the map, and I was pretty much playing between from confronting one enemy, two enemies, one tank, 5 enemies at the same time, And I was pretty rough, pretty good for play against healers. And I hope the next games we have a lot of enemies like them.
Well, you're off to the HCA now, so best of luck in that. That should be starting in about another 2 weeks, I think. A little 2 weeks. We already have a preliminary schedule. I mean, we don't have it,
Yeah.
but I know they've already set up the teams, and yeah, we're going to be ready to roll. We're going to take a little brief pause for a moment to kind of let people go out and touch grass and be regular and, not grind
Yeah, I
as
hope
much.
I had some time to let
Yeah.
my real life and play those games.
Yeah, take a
would be so
weekend
fucking
off.
awesome.
Throw
Yeah.
throw the dog in the back of the car and go somewhere, man, and whatever, go fish or whatever it is you guys do. But anyway, thanks for joining us, St. Pepsi. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Darian.
Yeah.
Cheers to all members to the Spirit, for my people from David's company from South America, and hello, and see you on next time. Bye bye.
Awesome. Take care, man. Moving right along, we've got another. I tell you, we got how many more we got? We got Excel coming on now, and we've got a surprise guest at the very end. So joining us now, we've got Excel, who is also an Esprit member. God, he's been on so many interviews and he's played in so many big matches.
I believe, did he start? Was he on our first stream?
You're gonna have to tell me. I'm not sure.
First APL
the first
Insider.
APL Insider.
I'll get back to you. I'll go look into this, or we could just.
That's
ask
your
him.
job as producer,
just
dude. How
ask
do you
him.
not know this? We could just ask the man. Anyway, welcome to the show, Excel.
Thanks for having me.
So like I told Pepsi, because I mean, do you really need to introduce yourself? I mean, you could introduce yourself. I think if people don't know you by now, I don't know, man. I think you're a staple in the community. But go right ahead. Tell us who you are, what you do, and we'll get right into questions.
My name is Excel. I'm currently the comp lead of ESPT, unfortunately. But yeah, I've been around for 3 years. Started back in 3 years ago with NPA. Made my way over to Goff, and then I've been with Esprit for 2.5 years, I think, give or take.
And doing well. You guys are basically the standard to which all Hell Let Loose teams are looking to perform. I mean, you might have taken the mantle away from one of the European powerhouses, the Wolves of War. You finally got that monkey off your back. You beat them last seasonal in a match that mattered. So I guess what's next for Esprit? I mean, you obviously met your expectation. You won you won APL third time, and now it's HCA. I don't know if you guys actually have that one. I casted you guys last HCA, and you ran into the Extreme Dinosaurs on Carentan, and they were actually able to beat you 3-2 on that. So what's next for Esprit?
Yeah, so HCA, we've never won it before. We got into the finals match, so we're aiming to win it. We beat WTH last seasonal, and we know they're really excited and hungry to get that mantle back. So we know that the Greyhounds are looking really strong right now. I know Omen recently formed up with a ton of people.
Tell us about Omen real quick, because I've been watching the transfer wire, and it's just insane how many players are just. And do you like the idea of teams just kind of dissolving and then forming new teams? But I don't want to get too crazy about it. But tell us a little bit about Omen for those that don't know.
So Omen seems to be what BFTB
German
was.
team, yeah.
Yeah, another German team. So BFTB disbanded, reformed into Omen, it seemed like, and then they have kind of collected all of the German players that kind of spread out. I see a bunch of core guys back in there, so it's not quite a core 3.0.
Oh my God, you were just thinking exactly what I was thinking.
But I mean, we're really excited to see how good they are. I think they can surprise some people for sure.
Yeah, they are in HCA. I did see that. So, well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, you guys got your goals set real high, but in terms of like how the APL worked this season compared to maybe the previous first and second editions, we're always looking to improve. What's something that maybe you saw, man, if these guys would do it better, what could have we done better? Obviously, don't mention the time zones because we can't fix those. But is there anything that jumps out at you?
I thought it ran really well this time around. I think.
No rule changes. You're happy with all the rules. I was going to say, is there anything in the rules? Do you guys like the fact that there's nodes that are untouched, that there's always one artillery player, and are we ever going to see the Panther?
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to get the Panther unbanned in seasonal for like 2 or 3 editions. But I think at this point it's kind of a staple to just do the Tiger versus 76. I think nodes being untouched. I'm heavily in favor of that. And then the one arty gun. I mean, you hear so many newer players talk about, oh, the 3 arty players, or some of the arty players from back in the day talking about we should go back to 3 arties, but people don't realize that was hell. That was like the worst thing ever. That had like an arms race for like a year and a half, 2 years of, hey,
Yeah.
we have these 3 arty guns. I can snipe you from map edge to map edge, and then I had people in a server building up barricades for 40 hours a
Yeah,
week, trying
I
to
know.
see if we can get a Belgian gate, if we can get a Lukes on top of that
Oh
Belgian
my
gate to
god,
block
dude.
a
Oh my
shot.
god,
It
man.
was so stupid. So people
Yeah.
who want to go back to that are out of their minds, I think.
I'm honestly glad they've implemented. Things do move slow in the Hell Let Loose competitive world. For the longest time, I think we've known that loop artillery, the recon loop. It's just so awful. And
Rocket sniping, like it's just you would park like a Lukes on top of your arty gun to block the rocket shot. It was stupid. It was so stupid.
so anything new then? Because I mean, we're going to keep what's old because it's working. Is there anything new? Is there anything that you're like, man, I wish we added this rule additionally? And I'll leave it
Well,
at that, and
so
then we'll wrap you up.
the next edition is probably going to be focused on what type of map ban they're going to do now that we have the tool to select points. I know HCA has kind of a pick ban system that people are kind of on and off about. Seasonal's going to have a separate one from HCA. And then I guess APL can kind of choose which one they prefer or do something new. So I think that's kind of where we're at in the difference between tournaments right now, is seeing how the
Yeah.
pick bans are going to be approached.
We need to innovate a little bit. We're not seeing much change from the game, the meta. It's never even really talked about anymore. So
The midpoints, I have like pretty big concern over the midpoints right now that people are selecting. Like we just played WN7 against Greyhounds. People have been playing that in scrims. A bunch of people have been playing scrims against Checkpoint, and these are points that are basically entirely the opener. You play for 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, one side caps, and then 9 times out of 10, no one recaps after that. So it's like these points are so stale. And
Division 1, let's clarify, because in
Yes.
Division 2, 3, and 4, where there's fewer players, you've got 35. There's more gaps. When you get some of the top players and you put 49 of them in a sector, there's nothing going to slip by. So it becomes very sweaty and grindy, like you said. I just don't know if there's a way to fix that without. Well, there is no way to fix it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. At least in the HCA, they're kind of changing what midge points are being played, and then seasonal, you're gonna have like kind of like a barter system where you propose a lineup to each other. So we'll kind of see how that works out, and I guess APL has the benefit of seeing what works and what doesn't.
And hey, before you run off, final shout outs, if you want to let your team know, or you got somebody in particular you want to shout out that had a great year. I know Inchan does all these awards at the end of the year. You probably got one of them, but is there anything you want to talk about before you go?
Not really. Shout out Hitman Alex. That's my number 2 guy. Me and
Man,
him
Alex.
We have been squad leading together for probably 2 years now. Pretty much every match. So that's my guy right there.
Thanks for coming on, Excel. Appreciate you, and we'll see you in the HCA.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too, brother. Okay, getting down to the very end, and we're not going to forget about our man, the guy who has to put all these schedules together. Is he in here? Do we have a sighting? I don't know.
I'm trying to get him in. I'm trying to get him. I don't know. He's not responding.
We're trying to
He said
drag
he was coming.
that Goomba from Brazil. We're trying to bring on our man Soprano, but I don't know. He can't push himself away from the table. He's been eating for the last hour, man. I don't know. He might be eating the table while he's at it. I don't know what he's doing in there, but
got a
the
large spread, I guess.
Yeah. So, if he's not here, we'll say in the next 30 seconds, if we put a ping to him, we're just going to have to wrap this up, and we'll let you guys know how the interview is going to go with Kwanzaa. Like I said, we have one of their reps coming on, and I know that Hawk and I spent a little time just checking out their page. Hawk, what did you get? I know you're like that tech nerd who understands all that shit. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, as we talked about earlier, the DDoSing, that's a big thing that they really wanted getting in with the servers. That way we had no attacks. and they stayed on. You know, we had no issues the entire season for that, so that was a big thing.
Division 2. Sorry. Go ahead, Hawk. Keep talking, brother. You're good.
And you know, another thing is those servers weren't no joke. You know, like the hardware inside of them.
Yeah, the performance
like
is-
Ryzen 9s. I think I saw, was it 32 gigs of RAM? And then you have those Samsung NVMe's. I think we were looking through. I mean, they're top notch products inside those servers.
Right, and you said something about the back end. The user interface is kind of easy. You know?
Well, this is where I want to ask him a question, because I mean, there was something about was it like a Q? what do we see there? It's called like Q
panel.
something? Yeah,
Q panel.
Q panel. So
Mhm.
I'm interested in what that's all about and asking them some questions on that.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, yeah, definitely. I think it's 2 weeks. We have it set up for the 17th of November. Say again? 17th of November, right?
Yeah, 17th of November 17th. And again, it'll be at 5 p.m. EST like today's was.
Yeah, so those of you guys that are in chat listening, if you're server owners or you just want to get more information, we'll obviously have our questions for their team rep, whoever they send over. But if you guys have any specific questions you want answered, we've got a whole host of questions like price, packages, performance, obviously the DDoSing. So yeah, we just want to make sure that we're happy with what we're getting. And I'm thinking from the price point, they're very competitive. And yeah, I think all of Hell Let Loose honestly should, competitive wise, should be using Kwanzaa for real.
Well, so I just got some word that Soprano will be here any minute. It said 10. He'll be here in 10 and at 4:51. So there's one
He's fired.
thing.
He's fired.
There's one thing I actually wanted to do. I wanted to talk about, since we got the time, what's your favorite Hell Let Loose trailer? I mean, so far. Obviously, we're going to exclude one of them.
Favorite Hell Let Loose trailer of all time is a no doubt. It's just no doubt. It should be everybody's favorite, honestly. It's the one where they dropped the Stalingrad and we saw the P4 for the first time.
Okay, so you like the
With the Stuka bombs dropping off, and then the Panzer IV and the dude standing up, and then you're seeing the silhouette of like one of the House of the Workers, or maybe it was Pavlov's house. But I mean, that to me was just so well done.
The
and you
Eastern
had
Front, is that
the
the
Eastern
one?
Front, yeah, and you had Cursed.
My favorite's Update 7. The Update 7 one. That's my favorite. The Battle of Carentan is on the thumbnail. That one's my favorite. But I mean,
That is so unremarkable. Wait a minute, that wasn't even the one where we got the transport trucks, dude?
no.
How is that your favorite?
Just the quality, like the cinematics of it. You know, I really like that aspect of it.
Those of you guys that are around from what was that Update 7, all remember the performance on Carentan. It's like every new map when we get, the performance is complete trash till they optimize it. They just pump it out the door. But Carentan was awful. I remember driving down those corridors and they had so many piles and debris. Everybody was getting there, and this is before the vehicle collision was all fixed. People were getting stuck and people were just getting frustrated. So they really did optimize that, remove some of the extra stuff that was in the way. And I mean, Carentan, I think, is one of, like, you know, the best maps now for pub and for comp.
Yeah, I mean, look at this trailer. I mean, like, I guess, yeah. I mean, this is cinematic too.
It's goated, man. Exactly, right there. Look at that. We were just like, oh my god. And then we get Stuttergrad and freaking Cursed that nobody plays. Man, talk about blue balls. Jesus.
Yeah, but the detail in those maps, though, like, they did put a lot of detail in them. You gotta give them that. Like, it's still good quality.
You know, to be fair, the most recent one, Elsenborn Ridge, is outstanding.
Yeah, and we reviewed that in the last video. I mean,
yeah, it's on the level, but the most important thing is when I got on the map, I actually liked the map versus getting on Stalingrad and being completely disappointed. It's like showing up for the date, and she looks like one thing, and then when you see her in person, you're like, is that really you? Oh my god, no, it can't be. So yeah, that's what I felt. I got duped, man. I got catfished. I mean, the map doesn't look good, but Elsenborn Ridge is every bit advertised. Looks good. And I just hope it plays well. From what I understand, I think Gas from Helios, I think he's Helios now, did a like a real breakdown, like he did. He went over the micro terrain and the different strong points. So he thinks it's going to make it, past the map ban phase. I mean, unlike Mortain, which we'll probably never see unless people are forced into it. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those maps. It's not going to take away your legacy maps. It's not going to remove the SMDM or the SME map, But I think it's going to be a regular. I think like a Herkin Forest or something like that. So
yeah, I mean, it should be good. We need another map for competitive, and I really do think with all the stuff they implemented, like you guys broke down how they had the trenches, everything. There's elements to that new map that are set up for comp. You can definitely tell.
maybe they're hearing us. I mean, I know Altberg is on the war correspondent in the official Hell at Loose Discord. I'm there, and we did fill out like one of these. What the hell is that thing called? I have to pull it up just so that I know what the heck the name of it was. But give me a moment. It's a Fig Jam. I don't know if anybody's ever used Fig Jam, but it's basically just a bunch of stickies you just throw on a board, and all of the content creators, everybody who's anybody in the content creation world is posted their comments and their suggestions. And from what I understand, that information is being brought back to the dev team from Team 17, some of the people that we have in there, and they're going to be constructing their roadmap for 2025 based on our suggestions. Hope so. I mean, we've been told a lot of things are going to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it'll be good. It'll be good.
I can
Good
smell
journey.
the gobbledygoo. You smell the gobbledygoo?
I don't know. Well, I don't know if that's what I want to go with, but okay. But
We have
hey,
a Soprano sighting?
we do. We have Soprano here ready to go, I believe, and I'm gonna bring him in
Hello.
here.
Oh, hello.
Where
Hello,
were you
everyone.
hiding?
When Farms invited me, I didn't know if he was for real, so I was eating and shaving, and it's Sunday, so I gotta treat my mustache, so that
It's
I
so
was doing that.
crazy. You're doing all that to not be seen. This guy
Yeah.
spent all the time making sure that it was smooth, but dude, get yourself a camera, dude. Throw on some sunglasses and a hat, man. We just want to see the mustache. But anyway,
one day.
welcome, sir. Glad you finally made it. We weren't going to close the show until you got here, but anyway, introduce yourself as if you needed to, but just for the people who may be tuning in for the first time, who are you?
I'm Soprano. I'm Orga of this competition, of this league. I joined APL June, I think, causing trouble, pinging everyone, and getting things in shape when it comes to casting, I think. And with the help of Hawk and you and everyone else, we were able to. I think we delivered something real nice. And
what
that
did
was
you
a pretty-
actually do, though? What was your like? I know what you did, but what exactly did you have to do every single week, which is not an easy job?
Choose casters mostly, and most of them are my friends, so I have to pick them and announce them.
Yeah,
and bring
decisions, tough
people-
decisions. Yeah.
I had to get people ready and put them on channels, maybe mostly, and do the whole back end stuff when it comes to being Orga, like tickets and so whatnot.
Yeah, you had to do all that back end work. Hopefully, they were pretty good to you. I've been hearing a lot from the guests that have been on that it was well run, and we attribute that to you getting the right casters and people showing up on time. I mean, I thought the casters did a good job overall. Yeah, and implementing the design elements that Hawk has been able to do in the background. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I just live updated. Soprano is late is the headline.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
what exactly?
I wanted to put this here. I really do appreciate everyone's work. like Hawk, you, and everyone else. I can't really name it, everyone, but I really like to say here right now a huge thank you for all of you for putting such amazing work.
Yeah, we enjoy doing it. I mean, I know I did. I know I bitch and moan a little bit behind the scenes about it, but I don't know, man. It's just kind of like that love hate. Yeah, I'm a bitch and a moaner. Yeah, I do it. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I do. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoy the show. Hopefully, more people tune in and take a liking. And we do. I think this format might work. I like the idea of bringing guests on and making it more interactive. I mean, the highlights are great and everything, but yeah, just getting feedback from the community, getting some of the, we'll call them the characters in the community, the people who are most active in the Discord chats. And Soprano, you could probably bring at least a few people that would spice this show up. I mean, you were on that having to shut the chat down because I know GBI was talking about that was the best part of the APL.
Oh yeah, because one part of people is that we cannot control what they talk. So all I need to do is shut down the chat and control the best. People call it censorship. I called peace, you know. But
yeah. Got to be the referee. Got to moderate it. People take it
you
out.
Gotta moderate. Yeah, you gotta moderate. So there were times that I was here like 3 a.m. having to shut it down, like because people were being way too too up forward on the stuff that they talk.
Look, you got to smack them on you got to smack them a little bit once in a while. Let them know who the boss is.
I don't really like to I don't really like to ban people. I think that kind of sucks.
No, you give them time out.
Yeah,
you got to be the parent. You got to be the adult in the room.
Yeah.
You know, it's what you got to do.
Otherwise, the alternative is a bot, and then it's up to the bot to decide when to kick them, when to let them back in. And not everyone likes that because sometimes bots make mistakes.
We had the usual trouble, but more than that, you just gotta be there, dude. It's tough. It's tough, but it's really rewarding to have been part of this mostly.
So, Soprano, before we let you go back to eating your dinner, it seems like a theme. It's Sunday night for a lot of people and it's dinner time. But is there anything you would say, man, I would like to bring this into the next season or maybe even bring it over? Because a lot of us play in multiple leagues. Is there anything you'd want to see implemented either in the HCA or maybe seasonal?
Oh, that's a tough question, dude.
Well, that's what I'm here to ask. I'm not here to give you softballs.
Yeah.
Listen, if nothing pops out at you, I mean, I guess that's a good thing because, I mean, if there were a bunch of people saying you should have did this, and this, I mean, that would tell us we didn't do a very good job.
One thing that seasonal had is standardize the whole thing, like we did. But other than that, I don't think so. I cannot think on anything right now. It's really tough.
Well, for me, it's simple. What I'm going to say from a caster standpoint, and I always try to keep my opinion to a minimum, but get your streamers, your casters, that information early so they can go through all their checks so they're not chasing a password. And, there's a lot that goes wrong on a stream on a good day. And I see Sinister Snack in there, and I know she had some tough ones. But yeah, getting in early and just checking to make sure everything works. You want to be able to just relax before your stream. You don't want to have to constantly going live, waiting on a password and getting pings in your Discord. You just want to get in there and relax and make sure admin camera works.
That actually makes sense because I'm not just an Arga, I'm caster as well, so I hate waiting for the password. Like I'm already live, so all I need is the password to start my thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a good suggestion, dude. We definitely going to try to bring this for the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people do their own servers, and I would love for Kwanzaa to actually give us more in the regions that have the most teams, because there was an issue where we had a lot of NA teams, and I know I casted a Helios match, and they weren't able to play on one of the Kwanzaa match servers, which coincidentally also is where Hawk is going to be pulling all his stat data from. So we want to make everything so that when we pull information, that the stats are as accurate as can be, and they have to be on certain servers. So getting more servers that are in the regions that are going to be played by the most, like NA needs at least 3 or 4, maybe even more than that.
And I want to add
maybe
to that. Yeah, I mean, this season was great. Obviously, we're
Gabagool.
limited on the North American, and we did have some complications with that. I know you did. But one thing is, it was really cool to at least try and get the stats from the servers from Kwanzaa. I mean, obviously, we had matches outside of Kwanzaa, like you said. So we didn't get the true, like, you know, stat line from everyone. It just wasn't there because of that. But in the future, maybe. You never know. I'm looking forward to that.
And when I say future, I would like to bring this across all 4, you know, getting everything just uniform across all the communities, all the leagues having the same, because it would be nice to just, you know, have it all just smooth, have everything just running, and it's just plug and play, simple stuff. I mean, just a browser source, just put it in. You'll have everything updated. I know I was in charge of the ticker and making sure that the scores and everything was updated, and you with the scoreboard. So, you know, we're trying to make it so that the casters have it easy. You know, just put in a couple sources and you're done. Makes it look real good, uniform.
And would be really nice to people like have access. Imagine the guy seeing his name on the top 10, like that's easy. Like that would be really wonderful to bring in.
Yeah, well, hopefully we get it done. I mean, Velo's working behind the scenes. Obviously, we're gonna have the rep in about 2 weeks, and we'll see what we can do. We'll see if the rest of the communities like ECL's already in. I should say they're already sponsored by Kwanzaa, but it's HCA now, and then Season on the other one. So if we can get those 2 on board, and then, you know, who knows what could happen? It could be really cool, because I think pooling all our resources together, everybody wins.
Yeah, and it's good for the community, like mostly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So Soprano, anybody you want to big up, and well, you already did. You kind of gave the casters a shout out, but anyway, thank you for joining us, and we're about to wrap this bad boy up, put an end to week 7 and week 8, which just pretty much finished now. We've got the final coming up, like I said, next week against or in Division 4. Odyssey is taking on Ronin. That's going to be the final match of the 3rd season of APL. So definitely check that out. And we'll see you next week. So from Gadarian, my boy Hawk behind the scenes here, our guy Soprano, peace. Have a good night, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Have a great one.
Yours, Oceania, the boom, train. Then we'll be breaking down all the place.